Okay, since the two of you are actually going to say anything, it is us once again here at Nerf Check. Finally, we have our Lord High and Master, Mr. Ray Shields, back once again, who is back to tell us about his tournament because he needs to talk more about it. Hi, Ray.
Hi, Ben. Hi, John. I heard if I wasn't on here, I'd get the Alex Coos Award for podcast. So, on that note, I'm going to do some shameless self-promotion, which is I'm running a one-day Kings of War tournament called King of the Thames because we have the Thames River just in Elgin, Middlesex County. Runs through London, Ontario, just to make sure we confuse all those people across the pond in London, England.
You mean the Thames? Another Thames that runs through London? No way.
No way. So if anyone from England tries to pick that name, we're going to have a duplication. And I would never do that on purpose. But yes, I did. So it's going to be 2,300 points, 3-round Kings of War tournament. It's at the Royal Canadian Legion in Alymer, Ontario. We're starting at 10 o'clock sharp. Please show up at 9:30. There will be coffee and there will be refreshments for anyone who shows up at 9:30. By 10 o'clock, I promise they'll be gone. We're going to play a game. We're going to have lunch. Lunch will be subs and sandwiches and so forth. The bar will be open at noon. It's a cash bar. It's a Legion. The price is between $5 and $6 Canadian, depending upon whether or not you want something that's bar rail or you want the premium drink. Premium is $6, regular is $5. Second game will start no later than 1. Last game starting at 3:30. In between the second and third game, we're going to have some ice cream because there's some pretty cool ice cream shops down in my town. So that way you have coffee, you have lunch, you have ice cream, and then you get to go off.
For gaming and ice cream? My God.
Gaming and ice cream. I'm still debating whether or not it's going to be an ice cream cake with like King of the Thames and a river on it, because that might be kind of cool. Or whether or not it's going to be ice cream cones that you get to make. I'm still flipping a coin on that one. Depends on the number of people.
Ooh, ice cream cones that everybody has to stick their hand in to scoop it. That sounds very hygienic for us. Yes.
Hence, I was thinking, getting a custom like Shaw's ice cream cake made up with like the Thames River flowing through it. Might be kind of cool.
What about just an ice cream cake in the shape of a river?
No, I want them to do it with like icing and yeah.
What about an ice cream cake in a river?
No. It'll melt faster. That's terrible.
Oh, okay. Well, that's bad.
That's the worst of all our ideas.
Yeah. So that's the cutting plan. If anyone needs or is coming from away and would like to either practice games for Masters, like this is a prep for King Beyond the Wall. If anyone wants to stay later that night for Masters or stay around for the next day to practice Masters games, there are 4 extra bedrooms in this area that I have where we can have people stay, and then we get into like if anyone's willing to stay on a futon or a couch. So
Ray's hostel.
Well, if you're making the trip and you're making the trip longer than what you normally would for a one day, then I don't want to kick you out. I'm sure we can find some food for supper. So no one will go hungry. That's all I promise. And that's what you get for $20.
It's a good promise for $20.
Here's the map. This is where Alymer is because no one has held a tournament in Alymer. I figure I should give an idea as to where it is. It's about 15 minutes south of the 401, which is really like the only highway that matters in Ontario.
Pretty much.
Whether you're in Windsor, Buffalo, Detroit, Hamilton, Toronto, it's less than 2 hours.
Montreal.
Montreal would be more than 2 hours.
A little bit more than 2 hours.
Maybe no, it's less than 2 hours. We'll just make them drive. It'll be fine.
If you're coming from Montreal, you can definitely get a room. Like that. That's all I promise. So one of the things we're doing is we're trying to tie into King Beyond the Wall. So with the help of John and Ben, we've come up with some Titan options, which no doubt will possibly influence Alex's Titan options for King Beyond the Wall. Maybe, maybe not. I can always hope.
No one ever copies homework around here.
No one not at all.
So the first monster is Godzilla. Why did I choose Godzilla X Kong? Because I've seen it 3 times now with my kids. And they're watching Godzilla -1 on Netflix on Friday. So like there might be a theme.
It's a good theme.
I
So
was
what you're
told
saying
by
is
Alex,
you're going to have the movie playing in the background as well? That's going to help.
absolutely. Now, you might say I'm copying Orktown with the Godzilla theme, but because that's what was playing in the background in Orktown all this past weekend. But let me assure you, my kids need no encouragement to watch Godzilla. They did want Mothra, but I was told explicitly by Alex that we were not allowed to have flying monsters.
Because fun is not allowed to be had.
But we have Godzilla. So for each monster, I wanted to do something that gave them an area of effect. In this case, for Godzilla, it's Cloak of Death. It's kind of like in King of the Monsters, where he radiates the power and kills King Ghidorah. That's at least my theory, because a lot of people are like, why doesn't he have a breath weapon? It's what I could do with the points. But he's really your tough one. Defense 5, Regen 5 with his 10 attacks. Melee 3, Crush 4. He can fight everything. But he's not fast because he's speed 6.
Excellent.
Then we get to Shimu, which you would only know if you've seen Godzilla X Kong.
Yeah, I don't know this one yet. Yeah.
So in the movie, he's the he or she's the Titan who is captured and being used.
Well,
But
don't ruin it for me. I haven't
What
watched
the
it
hell?
yet.
Spoiler alert! Like,
it's in
What
the trailer.
shit? I haven't even seen that.
you have to spoiler alert. It doesn't matter if it's 40 years ago.
Oh,
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Okay.
There you go. Oh, okay, great.
all right. Now you can say whatever.
Shimu's
I guess.
slightly faster than Godzilla because speed 7 beats speed 6. 12 attacks instead of 10, which means you get 12 shooting attacks. And the 10-inch range gives you the range 4 plus 12 attacks, piercing 1 with Frozen, and the area of effect is Dread. Because I've already used Cloak of Death, I have to use something else.
And Dread's just cool.
Yeah, and the Frozen gives you the Frozen rule. So if you do a Northern Alliance, this one's kind of a complementary creature. Maybe I should give it the rule for where you get vicious if you're within 6 inches of a frozen creature, but I don't want to
stop.
No, this is good enough, and they're all kind of balanced. Finally, you have King Kong, 75 millimeter base, but he's speed 8 with Pathfinder. The other two have Strider. 10 attacks, melee 3, crush 3, thunderous charge 1, headstrong instead of fury. And his benefit for area of effect is radiance of life. So you get to choose which of these 3 monsters you want to take to the tournament, whichever one fits your list. They're all balanced out, technically at 320 points, but we're saying 300 points for if you kill them. That's what you get.
That's how math works.
Exactly.
Well, I know what I balanced them to, but they're certainly not optimized compared to what we saw last year. They're all solid choices. They're all viable choices, and we'll go with that. So,
well, yeah, they definitely are solid choices. I like I like all the different, like the Radiance of Life and the Cloak of Death and the Dread all make sense. The speeds are all good. The attacks, I've said my piece about the shooting attacks, but I mean, 10-inch range is a 10-inch range. If you're that close, like, what are you doing? Like, are you going to go in, or are you going to shoot, or what are you going to do? And I mean, come on. You're doing a bunch of Godzilla type things. Most people are probably going to end up taking Godzilla anyway. So,
or King Kong, he is completely viable too.
I was going to say, do you want to tell us which one is your favorite and why is it Godzilla?
I mean, when we're talking about the Godzilla, which one is the Godzilla?
Well, I think it's only fair to take Godzilla because it's his 70th birthday this year.
He doesn't look a day over 50.
Good enough reason for me.
Yeah, because his first movie came out in 1954.
And it is hilarious.
Yes.
Like, to watch it now, oh, wow. It is a treat.
And you take Godzilla because he has always won in his matchups against King Kong.
Exactly.
Whereas if you take King Kong, he doesn't normally win.
Nope.
He makes a good showing for himself, and he's an ally, and he helps the humans. But he doesn't normally win.
But
that
do you
being
want
said,
Helper Monkey, or do you want Godzilla? Just saying.
That being said, I could see a point for each of these. Maybe not so much Shimu, but whatever. Each of these.
Unless you're Northern Alliance, right? Because if you're
Northern Alliance, like it's tailor made for it. But
actually, salamanders. I shared this list with the three monsters with Alex Chavez, Joey Greek, and Nathan down from the southeast.
So just B-list players is what you're saying.
Just B-list players, and each of them picked a different monster. Alex picked Godzilla. I would have never guessed that with his dwarf tendencies. He always said that he would take Shimu with his salamanders, and Nathan went with King Kong. So, you know what? Each of them picked a different one, and as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, they're close enough to balance then.
Yeah, they're actually very close to balance, I think.
If I have three good players picking three different monsters on their first go,
there's no point in asking a fourth person just in case.
Absolutely. Well,
No,
and I've
absolutely not.
Already had your 2 inputs, so it's good. So these are the monsters. People better than me at this game are saying they're reasonably balanced. So there it is.
And he's saying that together we count as one, Ben. That's what he just said there. Yeah.
Is that what he's saying?
Our input added up to the fourth. So
I am. Look, if we're all getting sewn together, I'm being the guy in the front. That's all I'm saying.
There's no human centipede.
No one said that. I said sewn together, like with 3 heads in one or something. You went down the other route.
I don't think I signed up for a human centipede for this. I'm pretty sure that was not in our document.
It's the secret 4th Titan.
I think you have to disclose that before anyone signs up to do a podcast. I think so.
So taking it back, in summary, 2,300 points, 3 rounds, bring a Titan, no centipedes allowed.
Well, I actually have a centipede Hydra monster, so I mean,
oh, this is so happening.
I'm not gonna say where I got it from, but
I can't wait till Cerrone sees this, because I'm sure he's not going to rapidly print everybody a centipede model at that point in time.
Spoiler alert, he printed me that monster.
So looking forward to hosting it. It's the first one I've hosted since I moved back to Canada, and hopefully it goes well, and then I'll host another one in December for How Mantic Stole Christmas.
See, this is all good stuff.
Okay. Well, that's all I have. Anything I missed? Location, date, food, points value,
Right.
Bring Titan.
Everybody needs to come. If you're watching this, find a way of getting there, because it will be a damn good time. We can guarantee that.
Just message me if you need a room.
Regular questions that'll come up. Does my army have to be painted?
No.
Okay. Is there sports voting?
No.
Does that mean I can act like an asshole?
No. But
That's
okay,
all I
because I'll clarify. One, it's a 1 day. If I go to a 1 day, I'm happy to see armies get played, get used, get experimented with, try something new. It's a 1 day, which is why there's no point paint score.
Excellent.
Sports score, no, we could do who's your favorite opponent at the end, but I don't. There's no one in this region who I wouldn't want to play against. Sometimes I think that I'm slightly the biggest asshole, and if that's the case, and we're all Canadians or adopted Canadians if you're in Buffalo, then you're good sports to play against. Even the game against Ben is an enjoyable game. So
well, now you're just lying. I mean, if you're just going to flat out lie on here,
if I was going to lie, I'd say John. But
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So I don't think there's a need for sports. If a game's going poorly, call me over and I'll pay attention. But you know what? If somebody's causing that much of a problem, then I just won't have them back in the future. This is come, hang out, eat food, play some games, have a good time, buy a drink or two, and yeah.
You're going to a league.
Good standard questions. What else did I miss, John?
For anyone who's going to travel really, really far, is it possible to borrow an army from somebody?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Is there a wide selection of armies to choose from?
Yes.
Yes.
You reach out to one of us three, reach out to somebody, get a hold of us on the Kings of War Ontario group, get a hold of somebody on the Kings of War group.
Nathan. His name is Nathan.
But just post what army you want use. Like,
Yeah.
really.
One of us has got one. And if we don't have it, Nathan has 17 armies that are painted and ready to go. And I'm sure he doesn't mind that I'm just saying, sure, you can use one of Nathan's things.
Those are the most common questions.
No, and actually, that's a good point. Is if you have somebody who would like to try it out, you do not have an army for them to try or play with. I would be happy to lend them a easy to use ogre army, maybe 4 hordes of siege breakers and some other stuff, and have fun. They can play.
They'll have fun.
And I'll be there to help them with the rules as they go by. But, if somebody wants to play, if you have a friend and you need an army or need something to bring them in, hook them in, just reach out. One of us, even one of us 3 could set them up with an easy welcome to Kings of War, use this army.
Yeah. And look,
Pokemon.
There'll definitely be the Pokemon army kicking about. If somebody's listening to this, if somebody's listening to this has never played before and gone, well, why not try this one to start? It'd be a great one to start. Like, again, come out, support the Legion, support just the community in general. Come out, have a laugh, roll some goddamn dice, have a good time, and then go home. Like, awards and everything else aside, this game is mostly so we can get away from our families, our troubles, and everything else. It just put a smile on our own damn faces. So come out. Like, come out. There's no reason to not come out to a bloody, to any tournament. There really isn't, especially to a Kings of War tournament. Nobody I've ever met, including myself, staring at myself in the mirror, nobody I've met has been in any way, shape, or form a terrible person. This is not some of the other communities you'll run into. This is just.
I think the fact that you're saying, like, are you considering even sports? I'm like, I don't have to consider sports.
No.
Like, the expectation is just there that you won't be a jerk.
That's just the questions that we get asked every time we hold an event. So
we will have themed tables. So
that's exciting.
Closer to
previews.
Closer to the date, I'll put up the previews of some of the tables. If there's a particular type of terrain that you want to fight on, please let me know. And I will.
You like making things hard for yourself, don't you?
Well, no, like, I'm currently working on lava fields. So if anyone has a
there's a preview. Excellent. We knew we'd get one.
There we go.
I haven't done the water effects on them yet, but if you want to play in lava because your forces of abyssal dwarfs, or something like that, you can say that's the field I want to fight on. If you're glade stalkers and Sylvankin or something, and you want green, got it.
What about just all forests?
All forests. If you want to fight in the Arctic waste, go ahead.
So I can request a table of all forest?
Absolutely.
Oh God, why? Do not give John this option. Do not give John this option.
Excellent.
Because
That's what I like to hear.
John, you will get a barren wasteland to fight in.
I'm also fine with that, actually. So either or.
I don't know how that'll happen, but whatever you want, you'll get the opposite.
Just pull up to a table and there's no terrain at all. Good luck. Yeah.
I want to play on just an open field.
Yeah.
Just an open field. Like, that's, and I'm just going to bring elves and nothing but shooting. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
No.
I mean,
well, on that note, thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Nerd Shack. I am indeed alive, despite the protests of Ben and John.
Those were just rumors. I don't know who spread those.
And hopefully I'll see you guys on the 13th of July.
Come on out, everybody.
Hooray.
Bye.